Here we shall see the worked example of a triphenylamine molecule, which I have worked, and see how Foucault functions can be used to assess the reactivity of a particular system. Okay. So let me share the screen. Here it is. I'm going to put the values of some work molecules. Here it is. So the Foucault functions is a very standard method of calculating reactivity. After all, we are interested only in the reactivity of the molecules. So here is molecule 1 and 2 and then 3, then 4, 5 and 6. There are about 6 compounds there. So I have removed the molecular name because it is a research work of somebody. And you can see that the experimentally they have calculated. So this is a very good experimental value. How do they calculate it? They use cyclic voltammetry. Okay, cyclic voltammetry, we have in our PhYSS lab. If some of you are interested in doing the research work using cyclic voltammetry, they got a electrochemical workstation. Okay, we call it as the electrochemical workstation, which is capable of calculating so many properties, and it's one of the best chemistry apparatus we have in our lab, costing about 30 lakhs. So using cyclic voltammetry, you can determine the highest occupied molecular orbital experimental values. It comes to around, the unit is in electron volts, and you can convert into hot rays, kilojoules, kilojoule. But I usually take this value because the electrical property can better be described only in electrical volts only. So you can see the values, as a derivative change, it is minus 5.37, 40, 602, and those things are there. So what we did was, it's a HOMO experimental is there, and LUMO experimental is also there. It comes to around minus 2.307, 2.308 like this. Okay, some column is missing. So this is a computational value calculated using Gaussian software. The orbitals are also visualized, so you can see that the values are LUMO and HOMO experimental values are nearly differing by only slightly. But anyway, because you are going to calculate the difference, that is the band gap. So it doesn't matter whether the value is minus 1.4 or minus 2.397. What is important here is the delta values. Delta. The difference comes to be around, it is, you can see that minus 5.0 828 minus 5.347 0. Okay, so it comes to around the difference between this HOMO computational and experimental value. You can see this, it comes to around, sorry, HOMO minus LUMO, right? This value should actually be minus LUMO values. 5.0828 minus computation value where it is minus 1.4355. So because you are subtracting here, this will become plus, so you will get about the value of about 3.6493. So this value is what is being put here. So these are all the difference values. So this is computational and this is experimental. So you see the values comparable. 3.6493 is experimental value. I am sorry, computational value. Experimental value is 3.040. It's slightly different. 3.6 is computational. 3.06 is experimental. 3.48, 2.94. Anyway, it is very close to 3.0 something, not much difference. So if you go for higher level calculations, the difference becomes very small. But what happens is you will take lot of computational time, and you will require a lot of hardware. So fast RAM, and that is fast processor, heavy RAM, workstation is needed. But anyway, these values are very much closer to 3.0, while this is also closer to 3.5. Okay. So the next part is, you got so much values. Look into the functionality of this. This is the Fukui function. Okay, Fukui function is large or chemically soft. Right? The value of Fukui function is very large. They are chemically soft. Okay, soft means, HSCB approach, you might remember, Pearson's hard and soft acid distance. Soft means usually they will be reactive towards respective regions, not for all. Okay, hard acid, if you have hard acid, it will react very well with the hard base. If you have soft acid, it will react with soft base. But there are hard and soft principle based on Pearson's, is what taken into it. And where the Fukui function is small by invoking HSCB principle in the local sense. Local and global, I'll explain. Okay. So let me take a molecule like this. Okay, I'm taking a aromatic compound, and let me take aniline like this. Okay. So I have three types of atoms there. One is the carbon atom, the other one is the nitrogen atom, third one is the hydrogen atom. So we have CNH atoms. Now, if I want to, if I want some attack, okay, I am just taking NO2 is an electrophile. If I want to take an electrophile and attack it here, which is the best position? There are three positions there: ortho, meta, and para positions are there. But what is important is the nitrogen lone pair is also available for attack. NO2 may attack here, or NO2 may attack the ortho positions, or may attack meta position to give you orthoaniline. NH2 like this, right? So I have to find out which part is which center is prone to electrophilic attack, right? So maybe this part, it should have slightly minus charge, or this part should have slightly minus charge, or this part should have minus charge, or here you have got 2 electrons, a very good minus charge will be there, dipole will be there. So it may go to different places. So in a sense, every part here is called as the local. This is also local, this is also local. And globally you have, if you take this entire molecule as electrophilic center, you call it as the global. So the functionality of F plus is defined by the cation, anion. This is anion. This is neutral. Here this is neutral, and this is cation. Why it is cation? N minus 1. Number of N is number of electrons minus 1. Or electron remove பண்ணிடுறேன். If you remove an electron, it becomes a cation. That is what I have mentioned here. So these three formula you have to remember for examination and forever. So for the Fukui function for nucleophilic attack is given by density of anion minus density of neutral molecule. The Fukui function for electrophilic attack is given by F minus is given by density of neutral molecule minus density of the cation. So the rho which is mentioned here, this rho is equal to density. Okay, but most computational software programs, they calculate the population density. Population density means, suppose if you have carbon there, the valency of carbon is equal to 4. So the charge of the electron will be 4.098, something like that, charge on carbon atom. But what happens is, if you attach a NH2 like this, NH2 is giving a electron towards the carbon, because NH2 is an electron donating group compared with NO2, which is electron withdrawing group. So the population of some electrons from the nitrogen moves towards the carbon atom. Therefore, it will slightly come to about 4.198. So it is changing. So this is the population density. Temporary, it is based on a particular reaction only, not all the reactions. You should not assume that every nitrogen atom in an aromatic substance is capable of giving an electron. It is only possible if you have complementary centers, that is where electrophilic attack should take place. You know very well, it should be electron deficient center. Meta position in methane, in aniline, is a very good place for the electrophilic attack center. Ortho position is good place for nucleophilic attack center. That is why you have got ortho and para nucleophilic substituents more than the meta substituents. Okay. So from the values that are there, you have to calculate the, okay, I just read that again to simplify again. Rho n is electron density at point R in the space around the molecule. This is not a factor you have to worry about. The n corresponds to the number of electrons in the molecule, and n plus 1 corresponds to the rate of motility. N plus 1 corresponds to an anion with an electron added to the LUMO of the neutral molecule. Where is it? Here it is. All calculations are done on the ground state geometry. This is very important. Ground state geometry. What is the other geometry? The other geometry is excited state geometry. The excited state geometry is also called as time dependent, because the electrons stay in excited state for a brief amount of time, say for example 10 power minus 5 seconds or 10 power minus 6 seconds. So that geometry, is very short lived, and it is called as the time dependent density functional theory and other calculations. These functions can be condensed by nuclear atomic charge. Okay, look at the important convention we are using. Population was the first thing we used here, and now we are approximating by means of atomic charge. Okay. Look at how a particular charge can be calculated by this very good example here. So what is the valency of carbon? Valency of carbon is 4.0000. Okay. But you can see that it is having some population as about 4.1980. Actual should be 4.00, but it is like 4.1980. And this 1980 is because of some extra electron cloud. Okay. Now you have to subtract. 0 minus 0 is 0. 8 minus 0 is 8. 9 minus 0 is 9. 1 minus 0 is 1. So this is a subtraction, because you are having higher value. You get minus 0.1980. So this becomes the charge of the molecule, charge of the atom. Likewise, you can calculate the charge for carbon 1, carbon 2, carbon 3, carbon 4, carbon 5, carbon 6. Okay, so after calculating the charges on every atom, you will see that this will have For instance, this will have about minus 0.198, right? 0.198. This will have minus 0.098. This will have minus 0.0156. For example, I'm just telling. So you can see the charge is varying because it is ortho and this is meta and this is para. Now, if you have a larger molecule, the charge can be calculated, and depending on the charge, you can suggest your NO2 plus can go and attack where. Because this is plus, it is looking for minus, which is having a very good minus charge. Minus charge is having possessed by this ortho position. Therefore, just for example, I'm telling, this will just go and attack them. So, in the place of rho, they are using the charge here. This is called as an approximation, and it is allowed because you get very good results. Density calculation takes a lot of time. Charge calculation is immediate, particularly Millikan and loading charges are immediately printed out. You can take natural bond orbital charges, which are very natural, which calculates the charges based on the distribution of electrons in a particular center. So if you just substitute charge of a particular atom of anion, this is anion and this is neutral. Anion minus neutral gives nucleophilic acid. Okay. Neutral minus cation gives electrophilic attack. Okay. The F minus, F in the very F plus is given by nucleophilic attack. Fukui. The F plus. F minus is equal to electrophilic. Okay. F0 is equal to for radical. Okay. So if I give you some values, you know, you can calculate for a molecule. For a molecule, any molecule, calculate charges and density. Density for every atom. Okay, and then we evaluate the F plus and F minus. Okay, now this is about the charge, which is taking very long time. An easy method would be instead of the calculating molecular orbitals for neutral, cation, anion, we can just add or subtract electrons from the molecular orbitals of the neutral. This procedure isn't good as described, but it gives a quick graphical display of the susceptibility of different kinds. Now, this is somewhat what you are going to have the Koopman's theorem, where I just told in the previous class that the vertical ionization energy of any molecule is approximated with the orbital energy of the diagram. So minus I vertical ionization energy equal to HOMO or LUMO, whatever it is. Okay. Freezing the molecular orbitals. For this, freezing means, you know, it is calculated at absolute zero, and there is no vibration and there is no. But theoretically, this can also be done. But we usually, unless we mention it like this, we calculate all properties under standard temperature and pressure. Temperature is 25 degrees C and pressure is 1 atmosphere. That is what we always assume every time. And it gives a graphical technique that can very easily to use the frozen orbitals. You know, here is the second part. Okay, that we are coming to the conclusion here. Build your molecule. Build your molecule means, you know, this is the first part. Build your molecule. That is, you have to use ChemDraw, ChemSketch, 2D to 3D conversion and saving it as XYZ or PDB file. Okay, and then go for optimization. Okay, so after the optimization for neutral molecule is done, optimization for cation has to be done, optimization for anion has to be done. All this will give the substituent charges. Okay. So here we can see that the enter the expert mode and volume setup define three following volumes. This is for a particular software. I think the software is, the name of that software is Spartan. Is given there. It's a good software. You can download that also, but I am just mentioning the HOMO-LUMO values there. Okay. So after going to this, I'll just tell you where we just a minute. Documents and Zoom. Do you remember this slide which we used on where is that IC code? Here it is. I remember the slide which we used to calculate the HOMO-LUMO and all those things. Can you recall that? I'll just bring it again. But meanwhile, you just recollect it. Can you recall that? Here it is. Are you able to see it? No. I'll just import that picture. Okay, time is over. It is not allowing me to. It is showing some warning. I'll just read it. F plus R is given as rho LUMO, measuring the activity towards the. Where is the slide number? I think is somewhere. F plus R is equal to Q LUMO. F minus R is equal to Q. So this is the approximation that I think we just gave you. Anyway, I will again recollect it. Let me see if I can get it or not. I'll import a picture. You have to remember this because this is the ultimate thing here. Remember this slide? We measured the Q LUMO according to FMO3 and that F plus R is approximately, this is approximately seen is equal to Q LUMO measures reactivity towards a nucleophilic agent. Oh, okay. So we have got the difference values there. So what was the values that we calculated? Globally, we calculated it to be about, what was the value we calculated? 3.040. Okay. 3.040 for entire molecule. That is what we call it as the global. And 2.387 as HOMO. 2.38. Okay, now is the conclusion that I am going to come. Okay, so let me take, we have taken aniline as an example in which we put C6H5 and H2. Okay, I am going to take 5 series of molecules, each substituting with different things, like one is substituted with chlorine, another is substituted with bromine, another fluorine, another with OH, and the fourth one, and the fifth one with NO2, like this. Okay. So from the NH2X, the X is these values, 5 molecules are there. Okay. Now after calculation, I am finding that it is getting a 3.040, and the next one is getting 3.141, and the next one is getting 3.846, and the next one is getting about 3.001, the last one being 2.868. Okay, so after 5 derivatives are there, so I have calculated, optimized all the 5 derivatives and getting the final values like this. So if you see of this 5, which one is having the highest value? 3.846 is having highest value. .846 is having highest value. Therefore, conclusion is that the fluoroderivative is offering a good electrophilic attack. Likewise, for different molecules which you prepare, you can prepare 10 derivatives or 20 derivatives theoretically, calculate all the values and find out which derivative has got highest F0, F plus value, likewise highest F minus value. And for all these, you need to calculate anion, cation, and neutral. 3 geometrical calculations you have to calculate, and subtracting you have to get electrophilic and nucleophilic, and then tabulate them. And just by looking at this ascending order or descending order, ascending or descending order can be known, and after that you can just simply suggest that this particular molecule is capable of attacking it. Okay, so from that values we have seen that this can be substituted, and the reactivity, this particular derivative is a very good electrophilic agent. It is the job of the chemist to calculate, to suggest the reactivity. So by suggesting reactivity, there have been many rearrangement reactions also, where you just are able to find out the migration center, the electron diffusion center, the electron rich center. Electron deficient, electron rich centers can be calculated based on SHAV principle. So this method of calculation by Fukui is very useful for estimating the reactivity. So I request you to remember all the formula there for the functions and go ahead with your research work if you have anything. Thank you.